Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the white farmers of South Africa are trying to flee to the US. You know what the problem is with these folks? Since they came out of them caves 6,000 years ago, they have never mastered how to coexist around others. They believe coexisting is they suck up all the resources and everybody else live with nothing. They call that living. The problem is they are just so arrogant and so full of themselves. They're not going to listen to anyone else either. They don't want to hear what their problems are, but they sure want to judge you and point at all of your problems. I don't accept that. But they're going to run into problems here in the US with that kind of mentality. They're going to run into problems here. They're going to run into problems anywhere they go. This is the way these folks are, no matter where they're positioned on this earth. They have everything, you have nothing, and they don't see nothing wrong with this. Their minds just can't register that that might not be the right thing to do, and it may cause a lot of problems coming in their direction. So thousands signed a petition asking Trump to let white farmers in South Africa migrate to US after country votes to force them off land. Why can't you just go back to the Netherlands? Aren't you all Dutch? Dutch land is still there. What, you don't like that? They don't want to go back to their origin country. They don't want to go there. They want to go anywhere else but there. I just find that very interesting. So if you go back to the Netherlands, or you're Dutch, right? So if you go back there, that's a major problem for you. It's just amazing how they want to be anywhere on the earth except for their true origins of where they really should be. This article came out March 1st, 2018. I want to thank Sarah Yezarel for sending this to me, and it came out on Newsweek. So South Africa land seizure explained. Well, we know how they got the land. It's stolen. They have stolen land all across the globe. It's a global thing. So more than 10,500 people have signed a petition asking Trump to let white people in South Africa immigrate to the US, just so they can come here and cause a bunch of problems. And they will. They can't help themselves. This is their nature. And a vote by the country's parliament in favor of land expropriation, which would strip white farmers of land without compensation. Well, what compensation should they get? They stole the land in the first place. Africa's a black continent. You are white people. You're the ones that are the outsiders there. Wow. The petition calls on the U.S. leader to take the necessary steps to initiate an emergency immigration plan allowing white Boers who to come to the United States. All right, it's a term that's used. Boer is a term that's used for the white South African, German, whatever, who are also commonly referred to as Afrikaners. The petition suggests that Trump should stop admitting refugees from Somalia and the Middle East. So they're telling us who to have in, again, a land that don't belong to them. America don't belong to South Africans, but they're going to tell us not to let Somalians in and not to let, people from the Middle East in before they come. So they're actually making demands before they get here. You're going to have problems in America. Let me just forewarn you. Claiming they cannot be properly vetted. Well, neither can you. You're trying to live anywhere except for where you should be. and allow white Africans into the country instead. So they're trying to tell America who should be here and who shouldn't be here. You see the arrogancy of these people. Again, they're going to run into a lot of problems here in America. A lot. They can easily vet it and also possess skills that make them compatible with our culture and civilization, the petition says. No, see, what they're going to do is come here being a bunch of racists, seeing people of other colors here, and go right back into racist mode. That's what they're going to do when they come to America. That's what they're going to do. You can't come and then start telling people where they can and cannot go, just like they did in South Africa. That's what they're going to come to America and do. The same damn thing. I'm telling you, these people are going to be a problem. A similar petition calling on European Union President Jean-Claude Juncker, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, and British Prime Minister Theresa May to allow white South African into the EU countries has gained nearly 17,000 signatures. South Africa's parliament voted to remove white South African farmers from their land without paying them compensation in a landmark vote Tuesday. The motion was supported but amended by the ruling African National Congress, the ANC, with the party promising reforms that will address racial disparities in the land of ownership. Lawmakers voted overwhelmingly in favor of the move, with the motion passing 241 to 83. So you can see the majority is in agreements with these whites getting off of the land. Okay. All somebody got to do is use their two eyes and know that you don't belong in Africa. That is not your land of origin. You don't have to even be that intelligent to see that's the case. It was a key part of recently elected President Cyril Ramaphosa platform. Ramaphosa, who has long supported Nelson Mandela's vision for South Africa, took office last month, replacing former President Jacob Zuma. More than 2 decades after white majority rule came to an end in South Africa, most of the country's profitable farming land is owned by white residents. First of all, they had no business ruling in South Africa. You are not native to the land. And you ever notice whenever they rule anywhere on the planet, everybody's miserable. Seriously, everywhere these people rule on the earth, everybody's miserable. Except for them. They make sure it's a comfort zone for them, but everybody else is miserable under their rulership. Okay, back to the article. A recent land audit conducted by Agri South Africa, a South African Agricultural Industry Association, found that white farmers still controlled 73% of the country's profitable farming land. Agri SA expressed concerns over the parliament's vote, saying that while it fully understands the need for land reform and the frustration with the apparent slow process, and is committed to orderly and sustainable land reform, politics and emotion dominated the debate. Well, they should be emotional. They can't live the way they want in their own land because invaders are there. Everybody should be emotional about that. Okay, so All right, so Agri AS president warned that the rights of all property owners in South Africa were at stake. He said that amending the country's constitution property clause would be a step backwards into the past where the protection of property rights was not applied across the board. Ramaphosa urged people in South Africa not to panic over the results of the vote. South Africa's cooperative governance and traditional affairs department echoed the sentiments in a series of tweets. This is a serious matter. It'll be handled through dialogue and in a stable manner. No need for beating war drums. No, they have every right to do that. It's been too long, okay, of kicking a can down the street. People are tired of that now. You know, you were promised a 6,000-year rulership. You got that 6,000-year rulership. It's over now. It's over. And that's what this is showing you, y'all. It's really long been over. That's why they have played with time and rolled the clocks back and played around with the calendar for years and centuries. That's why. We are past the 6,000 years, and they're still trying to hang on. And there's no hanging on. It's inevitable. The power is shifting, whether they like it or not. I don't care what arms and rifles and this and that and nukes they got. It is not going to change the fact that their rulership is old now. It's old and worn out. And they're not going to take this world in another direction. The only direction that these folks are going to take the world in is more racism. That's it. You're not going to get anything else out of them. More racism. That's it. They can't take this world to the next level. They do not have the mentality to do it. Okay? The only mentality they have is selfishness. That's the only one you're going to ever see in any rulership out of these people. Selfishness, arrogance, racism. That's it. Nothing else is going to come from them. And that's all we've seen since they came out of those caves. That's all we've seen. And you're not going to see nothing else, ladies and gentlemen. They have reached the glass ceiling, and they will not go through it. Okay. As we address the land issue, we'll ensure the equitable land is distributed to our poor people in a way that will ensure continued stability. Hey, y'all, let's go get some South African land. Once they're gone, we should go down there and occupy and be part of the culture and help the South Africans, the real ones. You see, once they get out, then it might not be so bad to live there. We won't have all the anal retentive shit going on. Earlier, the department had tweeted, "Land is our heritage, our identity, and essentially our dignity." No, it isn't. You're outsiders. Okay? No, land is the heritage of the Black people that are native to the land. We owe it to our children to dispel the myth that Africans are not interested in commercial farming. Well, I got news for you. There's a lot of Black people, even in the land of America, that know a lot about agriculture. I know you don't want to hear these things, but it's the truth. All right. My grandfather was a sharecropper, and my dad grew outstanding gardens in the backyard every single year because he knew how to do things that were passed down by his father. And then he passed it down to me. So there are a lot of Black people, whether you want to hear this or not, that come from families that were sharecroppers, and those skills were passed down through the generations. And we really do know how to farm. We know how to take care of livestock. We know how to have productive gardens in our backyards. We know how to do those things. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. We do know how to do these things. I sure know how to do it. And I know damn well I'm not the only Black person that know how to do these things. We'll continue to help improve the lives of South Africans through making tough decisions. This is a moment where we all need to raise and tackle the issue and immerse victorious. The CGTA said, including hashtag land expropriation. Julius Malema, the leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters opposition party, which introduced a motion, told Parliament, told lawmakers, we must stop being cowards. We must stop working around the white minorities who are governed by the fear of the unknown when it comes down to the question of land expropriation without compensation. And why should you be compensated? You stole the land. You stole the land. Get over yourself. You know, but what I will do, ladies and gentlemen, is leave the link to this article in the description box. That way you can see it for yourself. But these folks are trying to tell other people what to do in their own land, even before coming to America. No, see, they don't want these people there because those folks give them a lot of pushback and they don't like it. So anybody that gives them pushback, they want to come out against and then get other people to go against it too. That's all it's about. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell and join me on Black Junction TV and blackspot.com. Peace, family.